Alright, people. Now, this is part two of the Raja Jackson situation. Or should I say, Princess Jackson. Now, sorry about this. I'm eating while I'm doing this video. These two guys are clowns right here. You know, I understand, I respect his father and stuff, because his father has, you know, has had a great career. You know, his father obviously influenced a lot of people on doing that. Fighting, you know, influence obviously his son, because obviously if it wasn't for him, his son would probably be doing something else. And in part one, I talked about how him and his father was always obviously on live. You know, his father used to troll him. I feel like his father is one of the main reasons why his son ended up like that. Because I don't think this is just like a new thing where they decided to like get on live and start talking crap about each other, or, you know, I feel like this is an ongoing thing ever since he was small, because the frustration that he showed talking about his father, oh, my father ain't gonna see me like a beat no more. I feel like this is a ongoing thing. There goes my cat. That's my baby right there. But yeah, I feel like this is a ongoing thing that obviously they had, that it just turned from bad to worse. Now, one second. Okay, so the reason I'm doing part two is because I want to talk about certain things that I didn't talk about in the first one from Princess Jackson. Because that's how we're gonna call him, Princess Jackson. Look at him. This is how they act online. This is all an act. It's all fun and games with him and his father. But with everybody else, oh no, it's serious. You know, there was a lot of people that day that could have helped break the guy off and take him out of Psycho Stu. Look, and I honestly, I ain't in nobody's side. I am in the side that needs to find justice. If it was the other way around, Psycho Stu doing it to him, I would defend Raja Jackson. Doesn't matter about what color, doesn't matter if you're famous or not, doesn't matter who you are. For all I care, they could be people from outer space. And if there's an injustice, I'm gonna defend them. Just giving an example, because I don't want this to be, oh, a race thing. Because I'm Puerto Rican and black. Yes, I said it. My father's half black. My mom's full Puerto Rican. My father's an Afro Puerto Rican. Everybody that know me know my father looks more and a little bit more on the blacker side than what he does on the Hispanic side. So too many people in there and nothing was done until, you know, the last moment. That guy that was encouraging, that guy with the cowboy hat, should get charged because he was encouraging him. What happens when you do something with someone if you're gonna, you know, you encourage them, hey, do this, let's do this. And you go with the, because he went there with him. He went to the WrestleMania and encouraged the guy. So, Mrs. Cowboy Hat, yes, you should be charged too. A lot of people in there should be charged. The father should be charged because the responsibility of the father, one, not only is he hiding them pretty much, because he's not turning them in. So you're in this, buddy. Because if you didn't want to be in this, what you had to do is go in there and turn your kid in. Simple. Simple as that. As much as it's going to hurt you, you turn him in. Oh, he had a concussion. We don't know that. Last time I heard, he said he was going to go get something, a thing to see if he did have a concussion. That never came out. First of all, if the person's not right in the head, and the person's been saying it on live a lot of times, that person with the cowboy hat should have never brought him in there. Should have never. Because you know he's not right in the head, okay? So you bringing him there knowing that he's not right in the head, you gotta get charged too. Oh, no light shit. No light shit for you, buddy, because you know he wasn't right in the head. That's like a person bringing a psychotic person into a mall knowing that he's gonna murder them. Oh yeah, you deserve. If a person brings a psychotic person with a gun in the mall knowing that he's gonna do a bunch of murders, he should be charged too. Just like that dude in the cowboy hat. He knew he wasn't right in the head. You brought him in there and look at what happened. You should be charged too. There should be no slap in the wrist for you, buddy. There should be no slap in the wrist. Because you know this was gonna happen. You know this was gonna happen. Yet you allowed it to happen because you didn't jump in the ring. That I know of, and when you did, it was mad late. Because I didn't see like the full video. But I did see bits and pieces here when he was beating him up. I didn't see the whole thing because it was that disturbing. And if you did, hooray! Too late, buddy. Too late. Because what I've heard was the guy with the rainbow, whatever, you know, pink hair or whatever, was the one that pretty much jumped in to stop him. Like I said, I don't need to watch the full video to give my 2 senses because guess what? I've seen enough. And I wasn't interested in it because I know I made my decision as soon as I saw at least like 12, 13, 14, maybe 15 punches. And I didn't even need to see that many punches to make my decision. Come here. I didn't need to see that many punches to make my decision. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know, to be looking at a video with so many punches and say, hey, that's okay. You know from your conscience that once you see a person in conscience, and a guy beating on him, you know that's not right. Even if it's 3, 4, 5 punches, you know that's not right. So that cowboy guy, oh, he needs to get charged. He needs to. My cat really don't care. She's a princess from the house anyway, so she can lay down wherever she wants. A few of the people that was in there need to get charged too because they let it happen for so long. It was like they did it on purpose. There's no way in there. It's, you know, obviously if I was like a person that was there and I didn't have all these problems with my ankle operations and stuff like that, I would have gone in there and guess what? Soon as I seen 6 punches at least around there, maybe less because, you know, it depends on how quick I would have gone up there. So he probably would at least thrown six punches. So, but I wasn't there obviously. But people let it go too far, and people need to pay for what they did. You're there, you're an accomplice because you let it go in too far. You let it go in way too far. Referee needs to get handled too. You know, give him a couple months in jail because he just let it go. He's a referee for a reason. He's supposed to stop. Just, you don't need, it's not that hard. He's punching the guy and spear the guy. Simple. Until other people jump in. Try to hold him off as much as you can. He's not going to be able to punch you while he's in the floor. Spear the crap out of him. Simple. It's not that hard. But the fact that he was scared just to spear, yeah. There's a few people in there that are hiding him that needs to be charged also. Their job is to turn him in. They wouldn't do that with a terrorist. They know where a terrorist is. They'll turn him up. They'll turn him in. So why are they doing that? Because he's special. That is nearly killing a dude. And you're going to tell me that they not going to turn him in? Oh, but people, oh, but it's not as bad as what? Attempted murder is not as bad? It's almost the same thing. You're talking about murdering someone, and what does a terrorist do? The same thing. The same thing. So I don't want to hear this bull crap. Oh. No. You're just defending him because obviously he didn't hurt your family. I want to see all those people that are defending him come forward and let him beat your family. You do not got the balls to do that. You know you wouldn't. You know you wouldn't. So, certain people need to pay for this. Not just Roger Jackson. His father for helping him too. Cowboy Hat for encouraging him. For bringing him in there when he know he wasn't right. And Princess Jackson, as much people say, oh, jail is not the ultimate. What are you talking about? If that's how it's gonna happen, you know how many people, if we're gonna go by that, because they're only going by that because he is famous, because his father's famous. They're only using that excuse because he's famous, because I don't think he would use that excuse for, if I was to do that in the street, he wouldn't use that excuse for me. He'll probably say, lock him in there, because I'm a nobody. That's why. Because I'm a nobody. So, no. He shouldn't get special treatment. I'm sorry to tell you. He deserves to be in jail. Should have. After he get out of jail, give him a couple of years. Put him in house arrest. That's how they learn. Put him in jail. Give him a couple of years of house arrest where he can't come outside. Let him document his life of how has it affected. And guess what? Let him make money that way. Because if we just let him go, there's plenty of people in the future that's going to be gone too. They're not going to get the sentence that they deserve. Especially for, oh my gosh, for attempted murder. That's crazy for anyone to say, oh, no jail time. Yeah. You're a goofball. A hit in the head with a can because a guy was drunk and thought he was in the act because he even said it. You're not gonna sell it? What does that mean? Obviously, I don't even watch wrestling anymore, and I know what that means. That's just to put on a show, to sell tickets. You're not gonna sell it? That's what it sounds like to me. He's not telling them. Why would he say that if it has nothing to do with selling tickets? What else could it be? You're not gonna sell it. Sorry to tell you. It's common sense. You're not gonna sell it. You're not gonna act it out so we can get money out of this? But Princess is stuck on a can. He hit me in the head with a can. Oh my gosh. A little princess. Oh, princess. Oh, little princess. Little goofball, that's what you are. That's what you are. You're a goofball. But you know what? Here's the comments gonna come and say, "Oh, you're just saying that because he's not your son." If my son tried to attempt to murder somebody, I'm not gonna hide him just because he's my son. Because obviously the parents, no matter what happens with their son, they're always gonna love their son. That's just an excuse, bro. So people can feel sympathy for your son. So people could, whatever, no. That don't fly with me, bro. That does not fly with me. I ain't a goofball. I ain't dumb. Sit down, do your time just like everybody else. Simple. Let them do some house arrest for a couple of years. Give him a couple of years in jail. Give him a couple of years in house arrest. Easy, and you waste maybe 7-8 years out of his life, and you just solved the way, and you took nearly a decade out of his USC future. Now he's around his 30-somethings. Now that will teach him a lesson. Because guess what? A lot of the time going to counseling doesn't work. a lot of the time, doing things to help you cope doesn't work. You showing him how he wasted his life is going to give him a lesson and help him teach. You're going to teach him certain things have consequences. Simple. You do it, you pay for it. Just like you go to a store, you break it, you buy it. You do the crime, you do the time. We don't want the civilians to see this. And be let down by a government that's supposed to protect them. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see a American government protecting criminals like that. It's just crazy how it's taken this long for a person to go get sent to jail. And I understand they're doing their investigation. There's nothing to investigate. The freaking video is clear. You could see it in one day and literally capture the person like that. But sometimes American government is lazy because he got money and his daddy said that he got bail money. So guess what? We gotta eat it pretty much. Because his feelings, like I said, got him all up in his ass. So, Rampage Jackson, turn your son in if you really, really believe in justice. If you don't, then you should be paying for your crimes too, because you know he's a fugitive for a crime that he committed. You know, I also feel like that guy that was trying to tempt him to keep him there longer, I feel like he should have tempted him more. At the end of the day, he ended up backing out, because I did see that part where he just backed off and they just left. Oh, he left because he knew he was going to get arrested. Because if he wasn't going to get arrested, he would have never left. Simple, plain and simple. If your conscience is clean, you don't have to leave from there. But the fact that he left shows there's something funny. So, you know what you did. And the fact that that person was like, oh, let's get out of here, let's get out of here. You know what he did, so you should be held accountable for that. You just made it worse for him. He should have just stayed there and dealt with it. Simple. It's not that hard. You just covered for a criminal, and you probably might go to jail too, which I believe you should. It's amazing how people can get away with things and not be... Well, he's definitely not going to get away from it anyways, so the day will come that he will get arrested. But right now, the fact that he's still outside is crazy. So, that's my 2 cents. I feel like, pretty good amount of people should get arrested. And if you're going to be a referee and not help when they need you, get out of there, bro. Get out of there. Because they're paying you for nothing. So this is my 2 cents. Princess Jackson, go to jail, get house arrest. He's probably, let me finish it off like this. He's probably just gonna get a couple years of house arrest. Maybe. I doubted that he's gonna do any jail time. You know, if he does get jail time, his father's gonna fight to get a new judge, to try to see if they could lower the sentence, to try to see if they could give him some bail money thingy, so he could bail out, and he's scot-free. Simple as that. Only because he's famous. Amazing how this world works. So, yeah. These both should be arrested. Both of them. Both of them right there. Oh, well, why you think Rampage Jackson? Because you're not turning him in. You do know you're an accomplice, right? When you are hiding someone. You hide an illegal alien, guess what? You're an accomplice. That's why you go to jail. You hide a terrorist or a mafia leader or somebody that's a criminal. You're an accomplice. You go to jail. And you gonna tell me Rampage should get scot-free? No, you're an accomplice. You gotta go to jail, buddy. So, that's my 2 cents. That's all I gotta say. These two fuckfaces should be in jail. And a couple of other people that I already mentioned. Thank you guys for joining my live. Deuces.